Hi everyone, I'm True Soul, and welcome back to another Big Bad Toy Store haul unboxing video. I'm really enjoying these unboxing videos, and from the decent amount of views that I've been getting, at least in terms of my channel, you guys seem to like them too. So we're gonna go ahead and open this bad boy up. Spoiler alert, yes, it's all Star Wars. I think I got about 5 Star Wars Black Series figures in here, and I also have a bonus figure that I got from Amazon. So let's go ahead and open this up and see what's inside. Alright guys, so here are all the figures that we have. I got the Star Wars Black Series Archive Grand Admiral Thrawn, and we're probably gonna open him up first since he's one of the older figures that I got. Let's see who else is in here. I got Barriss Offee from Attack of the Clones, Padawan of Jedi Master Luminara. Let's see, staying on Clone Wars brand, I got Clone Lieutenant Gale. I think that's how you say it. I'm pretty sure this was one of the clone lieutenants that was under Commander Bly, for those of you who remember him. Next, I got Night Sister Merrin from the Jedi games. I think it's a pretty cool, unique figure that they made, so I'm looking forward to opening her up. And last but not least, I got the Incinerator Trooper from the Mandalorian series. Now these are all the ones that I got from Big Bad Toy Store. I got one more figure that I pre-ordered from Amazon. I would have got them from Big Bad Toy Store, but they actually sold out really quick, and I'm going to show you who that is in just a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, from Star Wars Acolyte, this is the Stranger, also known as Qimir. At least I think that's how you pronounce his name. Also known as Smilo Ren, which I'll explain more about that in a minute. I just think it's funny for all the trash talk that people do about the Acolyte. People really like this character. For a lot of people, it was like their favorite thing about that series. But we're gonna go ahead and start with Admiral Thrawn. And for those of you who normally watch my videos, I'm going to do something a little different just to save me time in editing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up all these figures first, and then I'm going to do an overview of each of them one by one. So let's see if we can do a little camera magic. And there we go. All the figures out of the packaging. Ooh, this is exciting, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and do overview of Admiral Thrawn first. Now, for those of you who could probably tell, this is not the latest Admiral Thrawn action figure. This is the one before the Ahsoka series came out. So when the Ahsoka series came out, they made a new Admiral Thrawn, kind of in a more live action look. And before that, Thrawn had appeared in Rebels, and this one kind of looks more like that Admiral Thrawn. As you can tell, his blue skin is a lot lighter, and that's kind of the look for Admiral Thrawn that I'm used to. So that's why I decided to get this Admiral Thrawn instead of the live action one. But it looks pretty good, guys. They used the usual run-of-the-mill Imperial officer body, so in terms of articulation, that's pretty much what you're getting from this figure. But I've actually been waiting to get this guy for a while, and I'm looking forward to adding him to my Rebel shelf. So now let's move on to a more recent figure. We got Barriss Offee. To be honest, I really like the way the hood came out. Most of the time when they do like hooded figures, it just feels kind of clunky. And I'll show you what I'm talking about, because I have another figure that has a plastic hood similar to Barriss Offee, but it's a little different. So let me go grab that. Stepped on a piece of plastic. So guys, this is episode 3 Palpy, who also has a hood. And the only thing I don't like about his hood is you literally cannot turn it at all. So Palpatine is stuck looking forward no matter what. But Barriss Offee does not have that problem because it feels like her hood is a separate piece. As you can look right there, it's a separate piece, so you can move it independent of her head. Now granted, because of the hood, she still can't look up that much, but you can actually move it in there. So that's one thing I really like about this figure. I was thinking that they used some reuse from the Luminara, but these boots, well, first of all, they're high heels. I didn't know Barriss Offee ran around fighting droids in high heels. But the bottom part is a soft goods, so you still can move and pose the figure. So I really like that a lot. So when it comes to the other joints, mostly the run-of-the-mill for Jedi now, it's got that deep one-jointed arm piece, so you can get a good range of motion out of that. I also really like the cloth goods cape. It feels like it's made out of a slightly different fabric, but just all around I think it works pretty well. Oh, and also the belt is also a separate piece. It doesn't necessarily look like there's anything where you can like take it off, but I do like the fact that they're starting to make more pieces be able to move independently of the rest of the body, because I feel like that in the past that kind of limited articulation quite a bit, especially on the female figures. I don't know why they don't like giving them articulation. But anyway, we're gonna move on from the Jedi to the clones. So we got Lieutenant Gale here. Can't remember what clone legion he's from, but this is the newer clone body, and I'm going to show you guys what I mean in a second. So here we got Clone Commander Bly. These two are from the same clone legion, and I don't know if you guys can notice, but Clone Commander Bly, he's on the older clone body, so he has those two joints in the elbow, and Gale has the one joint in both the arms and the legs. I feel like it helps not to break up the scope too much, and I think they've been doing a really good job at that so far. Also, Lieutenant Gale's helmet is removable, and Bly's isn't. Probably sometime down the line they're probably going to re-release Bly on the newer clone body, but I mean, I'm happy with the one that I got, because it's not like we saw Bly's face all that much anyway. Also, another difference is Gale's a little pauldron thing on his shoulders is a separate piece, so if you wanted to, you could take this off. And I believe the belt, in fact this whole part, like the belt and stuff, I mean, it's like a separate piece. I feel like Hasbro's been being a lot more aware of how they can sculpt things without it hindering articulation, and also for people that like doing customs, because you can like take off pieces that you think might work for other figures and then, you know, mix and match or whatever. But it's always good to have another clone to help gun down Aayla Secura. Help Aayla Secura. Oof. Now let's move on to Merrin, Night Sister Merrin from the. This is the one from the Jedi Survivor video game. And I really like figures like this because I feel like Merrin has a really unique look. I dig the fit with the jacket and the boots and everything. You don't normally get figures that look quite like how she does. They didn't make a Merrin for the first game, Jedi Fallen Order. In fact, they really didn't make a lot of characters. Mostly we just be getting either Cal and then a lot of stormtroopers and stuff that Cal fights. But anyway, I like the sculpted hood in the back here. Now it's just like one solid piece, so you can't like flip it and put it on her head or anything. But she also has decent head articulation. The neck is also a separate piece. So the rest of her articulation is, again, the usual run-of-the-mill single joint that they've been using a lot lately. Honestly, I think it's actually a lot better than the double joint that they used to use. Got it for the arms and the legs here. Also, she has a little spot back here for her to hold her knife. But one thing I really like is she comes with like this green like Night Sister magic stuff. I just think Merrin's like a really cool character because she can do a lot of stuff that like normally you don't see in like Star Wars. Sorry if I'm spoiling it for you people that haven't watched it, but like or played the game. But she can like use her Night Sister magic to like teleport and just a lot of different like stuff that you normally don't see. A lot of different powers that you normally don't see in Star Wars. So I just think she's a pretty cool character, and hopefully we'll get some more Night Sisters down the line. I still would very much like a Mother Talzin, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's move on to a character that probably isn't as cool, but I just really like the way he looks. This is the Incinerator Trooper from The Mandalorian. Now, if you guys have a lot of the newer sculpted stormtroopers, and this is pretty much same articulation going on here. I just dig the I like the flame pack and like the flamethrower and whatnot. But another thing that I think he comes with that is very cool comes with this fire effect. So we are going to go ahead and try to put that on and see how it looks. Wow, very easy to put on too. Look at that. That is cool. Now it's kind of hard to put him in a pose where he's holding the flamethrower with both hands. I can kind of do it thanks to the longer single joint. Let me see. There is a little bit of weight to the fire effect, but it doesn't seem to weigh him down too much. There we go. Look at that. Bro, that is cool. I think my Mandalorian show is probably one of my more fuller ones, and it mostly has a lot of like troopers and like Mandalorians and stuff on it, but I still have room, so I'm trying to fill it up with these guys, stormtroopers and whatnot. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, what some would consider the best part of the Acolyte, the Stranger, also known as Qimir. I'm trying to say his actual name. They don't really say it a whole lot in the show. But one thing I really like about this figure is it feels like you get two for the price of one. And I say that because a lot of this stuff is actually removable. This plastic cloth piece you can actually take off. And he also has an alternate head that has the mask on you can take off, so we're gonna go ahead and do that now. So you can pop this plastic piece off, and he also has another cloth's good piece under here that you can take off, and boom, got a whole nother figure, completely different figure. Also, I think his lightsaber is also pretty cool because I believe it's one of those ones that you should be able to, well actually you can't do it on this one. So in the show he can take his lightsaber apart and he makes these two ones. Like this one's like a little knife lightsaber. But we're gonna go ahead and get one little pet peeve out of the way. Some of you probably have noticed, for some reason the Stranger has a trigger finger hand, but he does not have any guns. The one time that it would have been okay to not have a trigger finger hand, they give a character a trigger finger hand. Hasbro's really bad at doing this. They're also pretty bad at doing this with a lot of their clones, like clones that have dual blasters, and then they don't give them two trigger finger hands. But that's just a minor pet peeve. Still wish Hasbro would stop doing it though. now I'm gonna pop his head back off again and show you his alternate head. Let's put his robes back on, if I can get them back on the way they were supposed to. But yeah, it kind of looks like his helmet has like a smiling face on it, like a very like sinister looking smile. So that's why the fan base started calling him Smile. Really cool figure. I don't have a whole lot of the Acolyte figures. I've been planning on getting them, but since I don't really have that personal of a connection with any of the characters, I've mostly been planning on using them for, like you say, I say customs, which I'm really looking forward to getting started on those. And I will be doing videos on my custom figures once I start making them, at least the process of making them. Alright guys, these are all the figures that I got for today. Well guys, that's going to do it for my little overview of my toy haul today. Comment down below if you have any of these figures, which one is your favorite. I think if I had to choose, because usually I end up picking 3 when I got 6, I'm going to have to give it to Merrin. Probably Merrin and Qimir. They're probably the most unique figures that I've gotten out of this bunch, but I like them all. Alright guys, I am not going to start rambling like I normally do. Alright guys, be sure to like, subscribe, and go to my channel to check out other videos. Catch you later.